What's up, everybody? It's your girl Bianca Moore with Be More Successful Marketing. In this video, I'm going to show you the best way to make a YouTube thumbnail in 2019. So, the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have an app called Picsart. You can get this from your Google Play Store and it's completely free. Or if you have an iPhone, you can actually get it from your App Store. All right, so what we're going to do is once it's downloaded, you want to go to your apps and you want to open it. Down at the bottom, you can see there's a plus mark that's kind of pumping like a heart. It's purple and pink. You want to go ahead and select that. Then up at the top right, there is going to be a magnifying glass. Go ahead and click that. And we're going to choose a background. Now, Picsart has several backgrounds you can choose from, depending on what you're looking for. So, you usually want to go with whatever your topic is about. So, let's say we were talking about money-making apps or something. We would type in money background, okay? It would show us all the different money backgrounds. All right, these are actually not good backgrounds. So I would change the keyword up here to dollar background. All right, these are better. They're actually dollar backgrounds. Okay, so there's hundreds upon hundreds of different backgrounds that you can choose from. But I'm not going to use this. I'm actually going to use a red background. So I'm just going to click on red background. And I'm going to choose one in this category. So let me just find one that I like. I'll just go with this one. Okay. And from here, now that I selected the background, I'm just going to click on Tools down at the bottom left. And I'm going to hit the crop button at the top left. All right, now here's where you're going to select the size of the thumbnail. Now, YouTube has specifications for the size of the thumbnail. You can either go with 16:9 or you can go with the YouTube button. They're both the same, okay? But it has to be one of the two. Once you've selected one of those two, you can move this around where you want it. You can adjust it how you want it. And after you like what you've selected, you can just hit the check mark at the top right. Okay, now we're going to add a picture on here by scrolling down at the bottom until we see add photo. And we're just going to select a photo. Okay, so I already have one here, which is this one right here. And now that I've selected it, I'm just going to hit add at the top right. Okay, now as you guys can see, there is some background here. I do not want the background in this picture, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go down at the bottom where these scissors are, and I am going to click cut out. Now there's going to be a white silhouette of a person. I'm going to click on that so that Picsart now cuts out all of the background. Okay, now it may miss some spots, and that's okay. What we're going to do is take this paintbrush on the left side and we are going to color in everything it missed. Okay, now you can make your picture larger so that you can put in more detail. You can make the brush larger by tapping on the brush again and going to size and dragging it across. And you just color it in whatever you want them to put in. Okay, now as you can see, I am putting in some of the background. That's perfectly fine because I can erase the background, anything that I added extra. by taking the eraser down at the bottom and adjusting the size of the eraser so that I can get out everything that I don't need. All right. Now by pinching the screen again, I can make it smaller. I'm just trying to get a better look to see if I got everything that I wanted in this picture. And I didn't. There's still some of my hair that's not in there, so I'm just going to take the paintbrush and go across the top slightly. Get rid of that. All right, there's still some hair that's not all the way in there, but that's fine. All right, so I'm just going to click on save because this is how I want it. And as you can see, the background is removed. Okay, now I am going to take this picture and drag it over to the right side. I don't want all of this in there, so I'm just going to drag it over. Okay. And now what I'm going to do, you can tilt this if you want to make it look weird or whatever. A lot of YouTubers change their pictures and stuff like that to grab attention. You can do that by grabbing this curved arrow. Okay, as you can see, but I want mine right side up. I'm just going to push it back over here. And now what I'm going to do is go to the adjust button so that I can go to saturation and make the picture a little bit brighter. Add some more color to it so it pops more. Okay. Now I'm just going to scroll over to shadows. And you can make it a little bit darker by sliding the slider over to the left. Or you can make it lighter by going to the right. All right, so I'm going to make it a little bit darker. All right, and then you can also go to highlight. And you can make it pop even more by dragging it to the left. Or you can make it a little bit brighter if you want to by dragging it to the right. But I do want it to be a little darker to the left. So now that I'm satisfied with that, what I'm going to do is I am going to hit the check mark at the top right. And now I'm going to add a border. Down at the bottom, it says border on the right side. I'm going to click border. And now, as you can see, there is a border there. Okay. Now, you can change the color if you want. You can make it black. You can make it like this salmon color, I guess that would be. I don't know. Coral? I don't know. Okay. You can make it purple. You can make it any color. Okay. But if you don't see the color that you want, you could just go to this rainbow wheel right here at the left side, and you can change the color, find the color that you do want, and use it. Okay? You can adjust the colors just by moving these circles. All right, but I don't want any of those colors. I actually like the way this blue looks. So I'll leave this blue, okay? Which blue was that? It was this blue right here. Now you can make the outline thicker by dragging it to the right, or you can make it thinner by dragging it to the left. Okay, so I'm just going to make it a little thicker. 19 is fine. I like the way this looks, so I'm just going to click on the check mark now. Now that I've added the picture, I can go to text and type in the name of this thumbnail, which is best way to make. I'm just going to hit the check mark because I'm going to come back and add more text in another line. All right, now I don't like this font at all, so I'm just going to scroll through the fonts where you see this arrow pointing upward, and it's pink and red, and choose a different font. Okay, so that says Best K. Let me change that. You can double tap the font to change it. Double tap the font to change it if you made a mistake. And hit the check mark once you've made your correction. All right, so now what I'm going to do is adjust this by pulling on these squares. You can make the font larger. You can make it smaller. I'm just going to make it about this size, and I'm going to make it scrunched up a little bit so that it's not over by my face. And now you can turn it, like I said before, you can tilt it by moving this arrow that is curved. You can put it up, you can put it this way, you can drag it down. You can do all of that, whatever you like. Okay, so now I am going to add an outline by clicking on stroke, going over to the color blue like we chose before. And now I'm going to increase the outline's thickness by going to amount. And you can make it super thick or you can make it thin. Okay, so I am going to leave it at 65. I like the way that looks. Now you can change the color of the font if you want. You can do that by going over to color and changing it. Okay, so if you want black, you could choose black. You can choose red, but I wouldn't advise it because the background's already red. You can make it blue, but I don't see why you would, because then it's all garbled up. You can make it green, but I am just going to leave it white. All right, so we have best way to make, and I like the way this looks. And I hit the check mark at the top right to save it, and now I'm going to hit text again and type in a YouTube thumbnail and hit the check mark. And I'm going to change the font to be the same font, which was Luckiest Guy. I'm going to make this bigger. And I'm going to scrunch it together. And now I'm going to go ahead and change the stroke. Change the color on it. It already selected blue. As you can see, this is the blue we were using. All right, now I'm going to pull this over here to make this pop. It was at 65. And now I like the way this looks. But it does look like it's kind of close to my actual picture. So what I'm going to do is scrunch this up just a little bit and pull it in and pull it down just a little bit. All right, so best way to make a YouTube thumbnail. I like the way this looks, so I'm going to hit the check mark and go back to text and make sure it's capitalized. 2019. All right, we'll change this font once again to Luckiest Guy. We'll keep it white. We'll go to stroke, change it to blue. And I am going to add more of the thickness on this one. Okay, so people know it's 2019. Okay. All right, so I love the way this looks. So now what I'm going to do is hit the check mark. And I'm going to add a border around this, okay? By going down to the bottom and clicking on border. And it has an outer border and an inner border. You can pick the color that you want the borders to be by going over to the right side where it's a black square and a white square. I'm going to go ahead and choose the color. Now, if you don't want the outer border, which is this one, you can get rid of it completely by going to 0. Okay? If you want it there, if you want 2 borders, you can leave both of them up there and just make it a little bit smaller. Or you can get rid of the inner one. Okay? It's all up to your liking. What I'm going to do is keep both of them there. And I'm going to make this outer border blue. Okay? Now, to get the perfect blue that your outlines are all ready, you're going to hit this dropper that's on the right side. And you're just going to go across a blue portion here and let go. Okay? And then once you're satisfied, you're just going to hit the check mark at the top. And this is the best way to make a YouTube thumbnail in 2019. All right. Once you're done, there's nothing else to add on here that you want. Just go ahead and hit this top right arrow. It's in a circle. And it's going to take you to the save page. All you have to do is hit save down at the bottom. And then save once again so that it saves onto your device. All right, guys. So that is it. That is how you create a thumbnail, okay? If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you like this channel, go ahead and subscribe, of course. Hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that notification bell so that you're notified every time I drop another bomb video. All right. And I'll see you guys in the next video.